because of requesting an emergency?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, tell us what they are. And
Okay, we have the first emergency is item 400, -16, an emergency resolution declaring an emergency for immediate action upon an ordinance to accept certified copies of certificate of the county assessor as the amount of total assessed valuation in the several school districts within the town of Hempstead for the school year of 2016-2017 as to extension of taxes, levying taxes in accordance with such certificates, and authorizing and directing the execution, the issuance, and delivery of a warrant on behalf of the County of Nassau and the Nassau County Legislature and under the seal of said county, commanding the receiver of taxes of the town of Hempstead to collect school taxes for the year 2016-2017 and pay money so collected to the fiscal officers of each school district and or the treasurer of Nassau County pursuant to the provisions of the county government law of Nassau County and the Nassau County Administration Code.
motion to establish the emergency. Moved by legislator Dunn, seconded by legislator Capel. All those in favor of establishing? Sure.
Just wanted to record for clarity, for the record, that we would have liked to have received these items before 12:36 this afternoon. Yes, as you as well. You received them at 12:36 this afternoon, and I would like to hear before the item is actually voted on for an emergency on why this wasn't given to this legislative body sooner, and just for the record, what deems this to be an actual emergency. I know there's probably bills that have to go out from the town of Hempstead. I just want to hear that for the record in terms of establishing why we need the emergency before we take the vote.
Go ahead. Can you establish a reason for?
The reason, you received it as soon as we were able to process it and move it along. The reason that there's a delay on this, and there is a delay on it every year, is because the information does not come to assessment until at the deadline where it has to be voted on in order for the bills to be sent out for the school taxes. And I am not the expert on this, but my understanding is that there are 3 districts in the county that cross county lines with Suffolk, and that the delay is caused by the fact that their budgeting and assessment is on a different schedule in Suffolk, and that delays the process for the entire county.
So what's the deadline? I didn't hear that part.
What is the deadline for which?
The deadline for assessments for this to get to us. You said that they always run right up against the deadline?
Right, the deadline is for the mailing out of the school bills, which I believe is October 1.
No, that part I understand.
Okay.
But I guess the entities that are giving the county the information so that we can consider this today, do you give them a deadline to when to get it to you by?
Legislator, I don't do assessment. I'm just repeating what was told to me on this subject. I understand that the problem, though, is these 3 districts, and this has been going on as a matter of years.
Oh no, I know. I've seen it for a matter of years being considered by emergency. Let me ask you this though. So you're not from assessment. I understand that. Is someone from assessment here? Because we would have questions on this item. I don't see why we would do the emergency if there's no one from assessment here. Is anyone from assessment here? Is Fran here? Becker? He was just here 2 seconds ago.
I suspect that Mr. Becker might be trying to locate someone from assessment.
So what would happen? I'm not too sure what's going on. I mean, this item has been. Maybe we should just have somebody call upstairs and get somebody from assessment to come. I'm all for giving the emergency, but I don't know what we're going to get to when we get to the emergency because there's no one here to answer the questions.
Okay. Why don't we do this?
Sure.
We'll recess this meeting, and then we'll do rules, and then we'll come back. And then we'll recess the meeting again and come back on October 5th. How's that? You ready? We can recess this and until we can get somebody from the session. And where's Mr. Becker? No, well, I'm not, no. We're gonna come back after rules. All right? What? Mr. Porter, what we're going to do is establish the emergency for all of the items. Just call the item number, all right, and all the items, so that we can establish the emergency for all the items.
But we have 5 remaining, correct?
Yes.
So read all of those?
All of them, and so just the emergency, so we can.
Okay,
pass
we'll
the
do,
emergency.
madam.
We need 13 votes for the emergency.
Okay, emergency resolution, clerk item 401, an emergency resolution declaring an emergency for immediate action upon an ordinance to accept certified copies of certificate of the county assessor as to amounts of total assessed valuation in the several school districts within the town of North Hempstead for the school year 2016-17. As to the extension of taxes, levying taxes in accordance with such certificates, and authorizing and directing the execution, issuance, and delivery of a warrant on behalf of the County of Nassau and the county legislature under the seal of said county. Commanding the receiver of taxes of the town of North Hempstead to collect school taxes for the year 2016-17 and pay money so collected to the fiscal offices of each school district and to the treasurer of Nassau County pursuant to the provisions of the county government law of Nassau County and the Nassau County Administrative Code. Next, Madam Chairman, we have emergency resolution item 402, an emergency resolution declaring an emergency for immediate action upon a resolution to include in the proceedings of the Nassau County Legislature a statement of the total assessed valuation of the properties situated in the county, town, special districts, and school districts within the county of Nassau pursuant to the county government law of Nassau County, the Nassau County Administrative Code, the town law, the real property tax law, and the county law. Next, Madam Chairman, we have clerk item 403. An emergency resolution declaring an emergency for the immediate action upon an ordinance certifying base and adjusted base proportion for the county, town, and special district and school district for each class of property set forth in section 1802 of the real property tax law. Madam Chairman, the next item is emergency resolution clerk item 404. An emergency resolution declaring an emergency for immediate action upon an ordinance to accept certified copy of certificate of the county assessor as to the amount of total assessed valuations in the several school districts within the town of Oyster Bay for the school year 2016-2017 as to extension of taxes, levying taxes in accordance with such certificates, and authorizing and directing the execution, issuance, and delivery of a warrant on behalf of the County of Nassau and the Nassau County Legislature and under the seal of said county. Commanding the receiver of taxes of the town of Oyster Bay to collect school taxes for the year 2016-17 and pay money so collected to the fiscal officer of each school district and with the treasurer of Nassau County pursuant to the provisions of the county government law of Nassau County and the Nassau County Administrative Code. Madam Chairman, emergency resolution, clerk, item 405. An emergency resolution declaring an emergency for immediate action upon an ordinance certifying base and adjusted base proportions for county, town, and special districts and school districts for each class of property set forth in section 1802 of the real property tax law and for each portion as defined in section 1801D of the real property tax law included within the Nassau County as authorized by section 1803(2) of the real property tax law. That concludes.
I'm sorry, can you please repeat those?
Thank you.
Sorry, I keep forgetting. Now, we're going to include items 400 and 401, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the original request for an emergency for each of these items. And since Dennis Dunn and Howard Capel moved for 400, I'm going to ask them to include all of the others. So motion, please, for the two. Dennis Dunn and you. I'm still here, you know. All right. Dennis, you got it? Okay, now we need to establish the emergency for each of these items. Are all those in favor of declaring an emergency for 400, 401, 402, 403, 404, 405, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the emergency has now been established for each of these items. However, where is Mr. Becker?
Yes,
Mr. Becker, we're going to get anybody from an assessment here in about 5 minutes.
I'm trying to.
All right, because I'm going to recess it until they get here.
If you can give me 5 minutes, we're trying to get somebody here.
Good, we can recess and come back.
Yes, please.
All right, because we have a rules committee that we would like to address.
I understand, and I apologize for the, they were supposed to be here and they're not, so I'm trying to find out what's going on.